find your light in the quiet. Welcome to the Clarity Nocturne. You're looking at your phone, the screen glowing in the dark. A message comes in, a request, a last-minute change of plans that completely upends your own. And you feel it, that familiar sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's a silent negotiation with yourself. One part of you, the quiet, weary part, wants to say no. It wants to say, that doesn't work for me. It wants to protect the small island of peace you had carved out for your evening. But another voice, a louder, more practiced one, takes over. It's the voice of the peacekeeper, the accommodator, the one who has learned that her value is measured in her flexibility, in her capacity to absorb the needs of others. And so you type back, of course, no problem at all. And with those 5 words, a tiny piece of you vanishes. You've just honored a boundary that wasn't yours, while violating the one that was. Why do we do this? Why do we treat our own needs as negotiable and the desires of others as commands? Why does the word no feel like a declaration of war, a risk so great that we would rather sacrifice our own well-being than utter it? If you have ever felt stretched thin, invisible, or resentful in your relationships, if you have ever wondered why you give so much and feel so empty in return, then you have arrived at the heart of the matter. Because today, we are not talking about communication tips or love languages. We are talking about the fundamental architecture of self-respect. We are talking about boundaries. And I will tell you now, this is not the gentle advice you've heard before. This is a deep dive into the psychology of why the absence of boundaries doesn't create harmony. It creates a slow, suffocating decay of both you and the relationship itself. The greatest lie we are told about relationships is that love means limitless giving. That to be a good partner, a good friend, a good person, you must be a well with no bottom. Endlessly available, endlessly patient, endlessly understanding. But here is the unfiltered truth, a truth that will change the way you interact with everyone in your life. Healthy, emotionally mature people are not looking for a doormat. They are looking for a partner. And a partner has edges. A partner has a shape, a form, a self that is distinct from their own. The very thing you're afraid will push them away, your boundaries, is the one thing that will make a healthy person respect you, trust you, and draw closer to you. Over the course of our time together, we will dismantle the 10 core illusions that keep you trapped in a cycle of overgiving and resentment. We will explore why a boundary is not a wall, but a doorway. We will uncover the psychological reason why manipulators despise boundaries, while healthy partners are drawn to them. And when we get to the final, most crucial point, you will understand the single most powerful shift you can make. A shift that will not only transform your relationships, but will reclaim the parts of yourself you thought were lost forever. It's the difference between a love that consumes you and a love that liberates you. You are standing in the middle of a room and the walls are slowly closing in. At first, you barely noticed it. You just made yourself a little smaller to accommodate the shift. You tucked in your elbows, held your breath, told yourself it was fine. You are adaptable. You are easygoing. But the walls keep moving, inch by inch, day by day. They are made of other people's expectations, other people's moods, other people's priorities, and you have become so skilled at contorting yourself to fit the shrinking space that you've forgotten what it feels like to stand up straight, to stretch your arms wide, to take a full, deep breath. This is the silent reality of a life without boundaries. It is a slow, gradual act of self-erasure. The first and most profound misunderstanding is that boundaries are walls. We imagine them as cold stone structures we build to keep people out, to signal rejection, to create distance. But this is a fundamental error in thinking. A boundary is not a wall, it is a doorway. A wall is impenetrable. It says, stay out. No one is welcome here. It is a fortress built from fear, designed to prevent any and all connection, to avoid the risk of being hurt. But a doorway is different. A doorway is a point of entry that you control. It has a frame, a threshold, and a door that you can open or close. It says, you are welcome here, and this is how you enter respectfully. This is how you treat this space, and this is how you treat me. A boundary doesn't block intimacy. It defines the terms of it. It creates the safety necessary for true intimacy to flourish. Without that doorway, without that clear threshold, there is no safety. There is only a wide, undefined opening where anyone can wander in, track mud on the floor, and leave without a second thought. You become a public space, not a sacred one. In the language of relational psychology, this is about creating a secure attachment with yourself first. Before you can securely attach to another person, you must know where you end and they begin. Boundaries are the lines that define your emotional, mental, and physical property. They are the markers that say, this is my energy, these are my values, this is my time, and I am the steward of these resources. When you fail to set these markers, you are essentially leaving the gate to your home wide open. You are inviting others to take what they want, to use your resources as if they were their own. And while this may feel generous at first, it inevitably leads to a deep, corrosive resentment. You start to feel used, drained, and unseen. And the irony is, you resent them for crossing lines you never drew. You are angry that they are trespassing on land you never fenced. This is where the dynamic with a healthy partner versus an unhealthy one becomes crystal clear. A healthy, respectful person, upon approaching your doorway, will see the threshold and understand its purpose. They will knock. They will wait to be invited in. They will respect the rules of your home because they have a home of their own that they also protect. They understand and value the concept of mutual respect. But a person with narcissistic or manipulative tendencies will see your doorway and be offended by its very existence. Why is there a door? Why is it closed? Why must I ask for permission? Their entire mode of operation is based on a sense of entitlement to your space, your time, and your energy. The boundary is not a sign of your strength to them. It is a challenge to their control. And so, they will rattle the doorknob, try to kick the door down, or attempt to guilt you into believing that a good person would never have a door in the first place. Your boundary, therefore, becomes the most effective filter you will ever have. It does the work for you. It weeds out those who are incapable of respect and draws in those who are. You don't have to guess who is safe. Your boundaries will show you. The second great illusion is the myth of the nice person. Society, especially for women, has glorified the archetype of the endlessly agreeable, self-sacrificing individual. We are taught that to be nice is to be without sharp edges, to be accommodating, to never cause friction. We believe that our niceness is a currency that will buy us love, approval, and belonging. But agreeability without authenticity is not kindness. It is a form of self-abandonment disguised as virtue. Every time you say yes when your soul is screaming no, you are not being kind to the other person. You are being unkind to yourself. And this act of self-betrayal has a hidden cost. It slowly erodes your own self-trust. Your intuition learns that its signals will be ignored. Your body learns that its feelings of discomfort will be overridden. You become a stranger in your own skin. Let's be clear. There is a vast difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Kindness is genuine. It comes from a place of fullness, of having enough for yourself that you can freely give to others. It is a choice. People-pleasing, on the other hand, comes from a place of deficit. It is a strategy born of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen as selfish. It is not a choice. It is a compulsion. A kind person can say no, and they can do so without guilt, because their no is not a rejection of the other person, but an affirmation of their own capacity and needs. A people-pleaser cannot say no, because their entire sense of self-worth is outsourced. It is dependent on the approval and validation of others. Their yes is not a gift. It is a plea for acceptance. In the context of a relationship, this dynamic is toxic. A man or woman in a relationship with a people-pleaser may initially enjoy the lack of conflict and the constant accommodation. It feels easy, but over time, a strange and subtle poison seeps into the connection. The people-pleaser, by erasing their own needs and desires, becomes a ghost in the relationship. They are physically present, but emotionally absent. There is no friction, but there is also no spark. There is no challenge, but there is also no growth. The healthy partner begins to feel a sense of emptiness, as if they are in a relationship with an echo, not a person. They can't connect deeply because there is no solid self to connect with. The very agreeability that the people-pleaser thought was their greatest asset becomes the source of the relationship's slow death. Furthermore, the people-pleaser is secretly accumulating resentment. Every yes that should have been a no is a small deposit into a hidden bank account of bitterness. They smile and agree, but internally they are keeping a tally. And one day, that bank account will overflow. It will erupt in a sudden burst of anger, a passive-aggressive comment, or a complete emotional withdrawal that seems to come out of nowhere. The partner is left baffled, thinking, "But I thought everything was fine. You never said anything." And they are right. You never did. You chose the illusion of peace over the reality of your own feelings. And in doing so, you sabotaged the very intimacy you were trying to protect. True kindness is not about never saying no. It is about having a yes that is honest and a no that is clear. It is about showing up as a whole person, not just the parts you think are acceptable. This leads us to the third illusion, that boundaries are selfish. This is perhaps the most deeply ingrained and damaging belief we hold. The word selfish is wielded like a weapon to keep us in line, to shame us back into compliance. We are taught that putting our needs first is a moral failing. But let's reframe this. Is it selfish for a lifeguard to ensure their own flotation device is secure before attempting a rescue? Is it selfish for a doctor to wear gloves to avoid infection while treating a patient? No, it is responsible. It is necessary. It is the prerequisite for being able to help effectively and sustainably. Your energy, your time, your emotional well-being, these are your resources. They are finite. You cannot pour from an empty cup. A boundary is simply the practice of managing your own resources responsibly. It is the recognition that if you give everything away, you will have nothing left, not even for yourself. This is not selfishness. It is self-stewardship. It is the foundational act of taking responsibility for your own life. When you set a boundary, you are not saying, "My needs are more important than yours." You are saying, "My needs are also important." You are moving from a hierarchy where you are at the bottom to a plane of equality where both people matter. In a relationship, this concept is paramount. When one person consistently sacrifices their needs for the other, it creates a power imbalance that is unhealthy for both parties. The overgiver becomes depleted and resentful. The overtaker becomes entitled and loses respect for their partner. They may not do so consciously, but on a subconscious level, human beings do not respect that which has no form, no spine, no integrity of its own. We are drawn to strength, not because we want to be dominated, but because strength implies stability. A person with healthy boundaries is a safe harbor. You know where they stand. Their yes is a real yes, and their no is a real no. There is no guesswork, no hidden agenda, no walking on eggshells. Their presence is calming because it is authentic. Conversely, a person without boundaries is emotionally unpredictable. You never know if their yes is genuine or if it comes with a hidden price tag of future resentment. You feel a constant low-grade anxiety around them, a need to manage their feelings because they are incapable of managing their own. This is exhausting. The very thing the boundaryless person fears, being a burden, is what they become. They are a burden not because of their needs, but because of their refusal to own them. Therefore, the most generous, loving, and unselfish thing you can do for the people in your life is to take care of yourself. It is to set the boundaries that allow you to show up as a whole, happy, and resourceful person. A boundary is not a rejection of them. It is a preservation of you, so that you can continue to be a positive and loving force in their lives. It is the ultimate act of playing the long game in your relationships. The fourth illusion is that boundaries must be aggressive. We often picture setting a boundary as a dramatic, confrontational event, a shouting match, a slammed door, an ultimatum delivered with a trembling voice. And because most of us are conflict avoidant, we choose silence over what we perceive will be a battle. But this image is a caricature. The most effective boundaries are not set in anger. They are communicated with calm, quiet clarity. Anger can certainly be the catalyst that shows you where a boundary is needed, but it is not the most effective tool for building it. Think of a boundary not as a weapon, but as a piece of information. You are simply informing the other person about your reality. You are stating a fact about yourself. I am not available to talk after 10 p.m. I am not comfortable discussing my finances. I will not continue this conversation while you are raising your voice. These are not attacks. They are statements of personal policy. They are delivered with the same neutral tone you would use to say, "The sky is blue," or "I don't eat shellfish." The power is not in the volume of your voice, but in the firmness of your resolve. There are two primary components to a well-communicated boundary: the statement of the limit and the articulation of the consequence. The limit is the line itself. Please do not make jokes about my weight. The consequence is what you will do to protect yourself if the line is crossed. If you do, I will leave the room. The consequence is not a punishment. This is a critical distinction. You are not trying to control the other person's behavior. You cannot. You are only ever in control of your own. The consequence is about what action you will take to ensure your own safety and well-being. It is a pre-planned response that puts the power back in your hands. Many people fail at setting boundaries because they stop at the first part. They make a request, "Please stop doing that." But without a consequence that they are willing to enforce, the request is just a suggestion. It has no teeth. The other person learns that they can ignore your words because there are no repercussions. When you state a consequence and, most importantly, follow through with it, you teach people how you expect to be treated. You are not yelling, you are not pleading, you are simply demonstrating the cause and effect reality of your world. If you do X, I will do Y. The choice is theirs. The responsibility for your own protection is yours. This calm, informational approach is disarming. A person who is expecting a fight is thrown off balance by quiet confidence. They cannot escalate a situation if you refuse to participate in the drama. You become an immovable, peaceful object. Your energy says, this is not a negotiation, this is a fact. And I'm not angry, I'm simply clear. This level of self-possession is magnetic. It signals emotional maturity. It shows that you are not ruled by your reactive emotions but by your core values. And while it may feel uncomfortable at first, with practice, this calm clarity becomes a superpower. It allows you to protect your peace without ever having to declare war. The fifth illusion is that if you set a boundary, you will be abandoned. This fear sits at the very core of our resistance. The fear of being left, of being deemed too difficult, of losing the love and connection we crave, is a primal human fear. It is wired into our evolutionary biology. For our ancestors, being cast out from the tribe was a death sentence. So our brains developed a powerful mechanism to ensure social cohesion, the intense, painful feeling of rejection. This is why a critical word can feel like a physical blow. This is why the threat of abandonment can trigger a panic response. Your brain is screaming, danger! Do whatever it takes to get back in their good graces. And so we learn to silence ourselves. We learn to swallow our no. We learn to prioritize the comfort of others over our own truth, because we believe that is the price of admission for love. But here is the paradox. By abandoning yourself to avoid being abandoned by others, you guarantee a different kind of loneliness. It is the loneliness of being in a room full of people, even in the arms of a lover, and feeling completely and utterly unknown. Because they do not love you. They love the version of you that you have presented to them. The compliant, agreeable, boundaryless version. And you can never feel truly secure in that love, because you know, deep down, that it is conditional. It is contingent on you continuing the performance. Now, let's confront the fear head on. Will setting a boundary cause some people to leave your life? Yes, absolutely, and that is not a tragedy. It is a blessing. A boundary is a filter. When you assert your needs and your limits, you are conducting a test. You are discovering who is in your life because they genuinely care about you, and who is in your life because they benefit from your lack of boundaries. The people who leave are the people who were there to take. They were there for the convenience of your open door policy. They were never capable of the reciprocal, respectful relationship you deserve. Their departure is not a loss. It is a clearing of space. It is your life's way of decluttering, of making room for people who are capable of showing up in a healthy way. A person who truly loves you may not like your boundary at first. They may feel surprised, confused, or even a little hurt. They are used to a certain dynamic, and you have just changed the rules. But after the initial reaction, they will do something crucial. They will try to understand. They will respect your limit, even if they don't fully agree with it. They will adjust their behavior, because your presence in their life is more important than their ability to get their way. They will choose the relationship over their ego. This is the ultimate test. The person who is willing to respect your no is the person whose yes you can actually trust. So, the fear of abandonment is real, but it is misplaced. The real risk is not in losing others when you set boundaries. The real risk is in losing yourself when you don't. The sixth illusion is that boundaries are a one-time event. We often think of setting a boundary as a single, courageous conversation. We build ourselves up for it. We have the talk, and we feel a sense of relief, thinking, okay, that's done. But a boundary is not a declaration. It is a practice. It is a living thing that must be maintained, tended to, and consistently reinforced over time. Think of it like a garden fence. You don't just build the fence and then walk away forever, assuming it will stand strong against all weather and intruders. You have to check for weak spots. You have to repair broken panels. You have to ensure the gate is still latched. People, especially those accustomed to you having no boundaries, will test your fence. They will not do this just once. They will push on it, lean on it, and see if it wobbles. This is not always malicious. Often it is simply habit. They are used to a certain pattern of interaction with you, and it takes time for them to learn the new one. This is where most people falter. They set the boundary, it gets tested a week later, and they fail to reinforce it. They let the small comment slide. They answer the late night call just this once. And in that moment, they teach the other person a powerful lesson. My boundaries are not serious. If you push hard enough, I will fold. Reinforcing a boundary requires vigilance and patience. It means having the same calm, clear conversation over and over again if necessary. It means consistently following through on the consequences you laid out. It is the repetition that rewires the dynamic. Each time you hold the line, you are casting a vote for your own self-respect. You are strengthening the fence. You are building a reputation with others, and more importantly, with yourself, as someone whose limits are to be taken seriously. This is particularly true in long-term relationships. Boundaries are not static because life is not static. A boundary that was necessary in the early stages of dating may evolve as trust is built. A boundary that wasn't needed before may become essential when you have children, change careers, or go through a period of stress. Healthy relationships involve a continuous, open dialogue about boundaries. It's a process of checking in. How are we doing with this? Does this still work for you? I'm finding that I need something different now. This is not a sign of trouble. It is a sign of a healthy, adaptive, and conscious relationship. It shows that both people are committed to making the relationship work for them in real time, not just coasting on old assumptions. The work of a boundary is never truly done, because the work of maintaining a self and a healthy relationship is a lifelong practice. The seventh illusion is that you need to justify or explain your boundary. When we say no, we often feel an immediate, compulsive need to follow it with a long explanation. No, I can't come to the party because I've had a really long week, and I'm feeling run down, and I have to get up early tomorrow, and my dog hasn't been feeling well. We offer a mountain of reasons, hoping that one of them will be deemed acceptable enough for our no to be granted legitimacy. But in doing this, we are subtly undermining our own authority. We are acting as if our no is not valid on its own. We are handing the final judgment over to the other person, allowing them to scrutinize our reasons and decide if they are good enough. No is a complete sentence. It does not require a defense. It does not require a dissertation. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your choices about your own time, energy, or resources. A simple, no, that doesn't work for me, or no, I'm not able to do that, is sufficient. When you over-explain, you open the door for negotiation and manipulation. The other person can start picking apart your reasons. Oh, you can sleep in on Sunday instead. Just come for an hour, it won't be that late. I'm sure your dog will be fine. They are no longer respecting your decision. They are trying to solve the problems you've presented so they can get back to a yes. You have inadvertently turned your boundary into a debate. This need to justify often stems from a place of not believing in our own right to have boundaries. We feel guilty, so we try to appease the other person with reasons. But a healthy boundary is not about them. It is about you. Your reason could be as simple as I don't want to. And that is a perfectly valid reason. You are the sole authority on your own life. You get to decide what is right for you, and you do not need a committee to approve your decisions. There is a powerful shift in energy when you learn to state your boundary without an elaborate defense. It communicates a quiet, unshakable self-assurance. It says, I trust myself and I honor my own needs. This is my decision, and it is not up for discussion. This doesn't mean you have to be cold or harsh. You can deliver your no with warmth and grace. Thank you so much for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. I appreciate you thinking of me for this project, but I have to decline. The kindness is in the delivery, not in the justification. The more comfortable you become with your own right to say no, the less you will feel the need to build a case for it. You will simply state your truth and let it stand on its own. It is one of the most liberating skills you can ever cultivate. The eighth illusion is that boundaries are only for other people. We think of them as rules we impose on our partners, our family, our colleagues. But the most important, and often the most difficult boundaries we must set, are the ones we set with ourselves. You can have the strongest fences in the world facing outward, but if there is chaos and a lack of discipline within your own walls, you will never find peace. A boundary with yourself is a promise you make about how you will manage your own life, your own thoughts, and your own behaviors. This can look like many things. It can be a boundary around your technology use. I will not check my work email after 7 p.m. It can be a boundary around your health. I will prioritize getting 7 hours of sleep, even if it means leaving the party early. It can be a boundary around your finances. I will not use credit cards for non-essential purchases. It can be a boundary around your mental health. I will not engage in negative self-talk. When I catch myself doing it, I will stop and reframe the thought. These internal boundaries are the bedrock of self-discipline and self-respect. They are the daily actions that prove to yourself that you are trustworthy, that you have your own back. Without these internal boundaries, your external boundaries will always feel weak. How can you expect someone else to respect your time if you don't respect it yourself? How can you ask someone not to speak to you disrespectfully if you allow your own inner critic to berate you all day long? Your relationship with yourself sets the template for all your other relationships. The way you treat yourself teaches others how to treat you. If you consistently betray the promises you make to yourself, you create an internal environment of chaos and self-distrust. This makes you more vulnerable to external manipulation, because you are already disconnected from your own inner authority. Building this internal integrity is a quiet, unglamorous process. It's the small choices you make when no one is watching. It's choosing to go for a walk instead of scrolling on your phone. It's choosing to cook a healthy meal instead of ordering takeout again. It's choosing to sit with an uncomfortable feeling instead of numbing it. Each of these choices is an act of setting and honoring a boundary with yourself. It is you, acting as the wise and loving parent to your own inner self, providing the structure and safety needed to thrive. When you master this, setting boundaries with others becomes infinitely easier. It is no longer a frightening leap, but a natural extension of the respect and care you already give to yourself. The ninth illusion is that boundaries will solve all your relationship problems. We can sometimes fall into the trap of seeing boundaries as a magic wand. We learn about them, we start implementing them, and we expect all the difficult dynamics in our lives to suddenly resolve themselves. But boundaries are not a cure-all. They are a diagnostic tool. When you set a healthy boundary, one of two things will happen. The relationship will improve, or the relationship will end. The boundary reveals the true character of the connection. It shows you what you are working with. If you set a boundary with a person who is fundamentally respectful, capable of growth, and invested in the relationship, they will, after some potential initial friction, adapt. The relationship will become healthier. The dynamic will rebalance. Your boundary will have acted as a healthy course correction, strengthening the bond by introducing more honesty and respect. In this case, the boundary helped to solve a problem within an otherwise solid foundation. However, if you set a boundary with a person who is deeply selfish, controlling or narcissistic, they will not adapt. They will escalate. They will punish you. They will accuse you of being selfish, controlling, or crazy. They will use every tool at their disposal, guilt, rage, the silent treatment, to get you to remove the boundary and return to the old, compliant dynamic. In this case, the boundary did not create the problem. It revealed a problem that was already there. It shone a spotlight on the fundamental incompatibility and lack of respect that was lurking beneath the surface. The relationship may end, and that is not a failure of the boundary. That is the boundary working perfectly. It has successfully shown you that this connection is not sustainable for your well-being. It is crucial to manage your expectations. Setting a boundary might not make your difficult mother suddenly understanding. It might not make your unreliable friend suddenly punctual. The purpose of the boundary is not to change them. The purpose is to change your experience. It is to protect your peace and your energy, regardless of how they choose to behave. Your mother may still criticize you, but your boundary is that you will end the phone call when she does. Your friend may still be late, but your boundary is that you will only wait for 10 minutes before leaving. You have taken back control of your own life. The outcome is no longer dependent on their transformation. It is dependent on your own consistency. This is the true power of a boundary. It shifts your focus from trying to control others to learning how to faithfully parent yourself. And this brings us to our final, most transformative truth. The 10th illusion is that a boundary is an act of separation. We see it as something that creates a space between two people. But the most profound and counterintuitive truth is this. A well-placed, loving boundary is an act of profound connection. It is one of the greatest acts of love you can offer to a relationship. Here is why. When you fail to set boundaries, you allow resentment to grow. That resentment is a poison. It is a silent, creeping cancer that will eventually destroy all the love, affection, and goodwill in the relationship. You may be smiling on the outside, but on the inside, you are seething. You feel unseen, unappreciated, and used, and that feeling will leak out. It will emerge as sarcasm, as passive aggression, as emotional distance, as a lack of physical intimacy. You will punish your partner for crossing lines you never drew. You are, in essence, allowing the relationship to die a slow, painful death, all under the guise of keeping the peace. A boundary, on the other hand, is a courageous act of preventative medicine. It is you, loving the relationship enough to protect it from the poison of your own resentment. When you say, "I need you to know that it's not okay for you to speak to me that way," you are not pushing your partner away. You are inviting them into a healthier way of being with you. You are saying, "I value this connection so much that I am willing to have this uncomfortable conversation to ensure its survival. I want us to be better. I refuse to let unspoken bitterness destroy what we have." It is an act of faith. It is a belief that your partner and the relationship itself is strong enough to handle the truth. This is the highest form of love. It is not the easy, conflict-free love of romantic comedies. It is a fierce, committed love. It is a love that is willing to risk a moment of discomfort for a lifetime of genuine intimacy. It is a love that says, "I love you and I love myself, and I'm committed to finding a way for both of us to thrive in this space together." When you offer a boundary in this spirit, it is not a wall. It is the frame of a beautiful house you are building together. It is the structure that will allow your love to have a safe and lasting home. So we return to you, standing in that room with the closing walls. The practice of boundaries is the act of placing your hands on those walls and gently, firmly, pushing them back to where they belong. It is the act of reclaiming your space, your breath, yourself. It will feel strange at first. It will feel risky. You will have to unlearn a lifetime of conditioning, but with each small, consistent act of self-honor, you will feel yourself growing stronger, standing taller. You will begin to move from a place of fear to a place of freedom. The energy you once spent on managing the feelings of others will be returned to you, ready to be invested in your own dreams, your own joy, your own life. You will discover that you are not too much. You are just enough. And the people who are meant to be in your life will not just tolerate your boundaries, they will celebrate them, because they will finally get to be in a relationship with the real, whole, and magnificent you. If this message has brought a moment of clarity to your quiet reflections, please honor its journey by liking this video and subscribing to the Clarity Nocturne. Your story matters, and your insights could be a beacon for someone else. So please share your experiences with boundaries in the comments below. And if there is someone in your life who is struggling to find their voice, who is shrinking to keep the peace, send this to them. It could be the permission they've been waiting for to finally reclaim their space. Find your light in the quiet. This is the Clarity Nocturne.